Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to yet another weekend preview on the channel, starting off with Burnley v Everton in the Premier League. Burnley, it's just not been a very good season for them so far, has it? 5-0 loss against Man City last time out. Everton, 1-0 loss to Leeds. That's really disappointing. They need to get some form back here, and I think they will win here. I do think they've got that extra little bit more than Burnley, so I think it will be a 2-0 Everton win and fairly comfortable. Man City take on Fulham. Speaking of fairly comfortable, I think this will be very comfortable. Man City were back to their best last time out. Fulham, they did get a win against Leicester, but I do think that maybe was a one-off fluke, and I expect Man City to absolutely wipe the floor with them here. So I'm going to say Manchester City 5, Fulham 0. I think this is going to be the start of City's climb up the table. Maybe it's a bit harsh on Fulham, but to be honest, there's just nothing that strikes confident about that side at the moment. But anyway, next up, West Ham take on Manchester United at the London Stadium. Manchester United really seems to be getting their mojo back of late. West Ham as well, they've won their last 3. Manchester United, of course, lost to PSG, but except for that, won their last 4 before that. So this is 2 informed teams. It'll be interesting to see how that PSG loss affects Manchester United. I don't think it will too much. I do think they will win here, and I think it will be a 2-0 win. Leeds take on Chelsea at Ellen Road, and I think this is going to be a really tough game for Marcelo Bielsa's men. Chelsea, solid draw last time out. Leeds, great result at Everton. Difficult to know if this is a one-off or not, because they've been found out a few times so far. But I do think Chelsea will have a bit too much for them, and I think it will be fairly comfortable in the end. So I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Leeds 0. Game on Sunday is at the Hawthorns, and West Brom host Crystal Palace. Now I think this is a big game for both sides. Neither side will want to lose. I think they'll be desperate not to lose. Both not on the greatest run of form. Wilfried Zaha not available for Palace will make a big difference. I think it will be edgy. I think it will be tight. But I do think both teams will get a result. I think it will be 1-1. Up next at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United host Leicester. And Sheffield United, 2 defeats against West Ham at home. And West Brom, it's just awful. They really need to get a result soon to pick it up. Leicester's obviously suffered an awful home defeat to Fulham, but still, I think there's more than enough in this Leicester team to bounce back quickly, and I think they'll win here. I just don't think they'll just win. I think they'll comfortably win. I think it will be 3-0. I think we'll see Leicester at their best here. And probably the main game of the weekend is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham versus Arsenal. Tottenham, top of the league, absolutely flying at the moment. Good point against Chelsea. Arsenal, just not really at it at the moment. Really disappointing defeat to Wolves. Just not on the greatest run of form. And they'll want a result here. But if we're being honest, Tottenham are way ahead of Arsenal at the moment. So I do think Tottenham will get the win here. Liverpool host Wolves at Anfield. This is an interesting one, actually. Liverpool, obviously suffering massively with injuries at the moment. Wolves, they've got a few injuries. Raul Jimenez will be a big miss, but they're, except for him, Johnny and Saiss, they're pretty much at full strength. So it will be interesting to see if Wolves can get a result here. Liverpool obviously really disappointing against Brighton. Wolves, great win at the Emirates. It will be close, but I do think Liverpool will have enough. I think 2-0 will fluster them, but that was what the score will be in my opinion. Brighton host Southampton on the Monday Night Football in a bit of a local derby, I suppose you could say. Southampton didn't get the greatest result last time out. 2-3 loss to Manchester United, just a total collapse. Brighton, really great point against Liverpool. They'll be looking to build on this. This is a close game. Southampton probably the better side, but we just don't know what the effect of the Manchester United game will be, because that was really bad. I think the Saints will get a win, but I don't think it will be as easy as some people are suggesting. Barnsley take on Bournemouth in the first game of the EFL. Bournemouth really disappointing against Preston. They'll be desperately looking to recover from that, and I think they will. Barnsley got a great win against Birmingham, but I do think Bournemouth on their day, I think they're just far too strong for Barnsley, so I think it will be a fairly comfortable 2-0 away win. Host Nottingham Forest in the Saturday lunch game in the Championship. I suppose Reading are on the Saturday lunch game pretty much all the time. Reading disappointing 1-1 draw at Sheffield Wednesday. Watford really positive 0-0 against Watford, but I still think Reading are favourites here. Yeah, I think we've seen enough from Reading to show that they're a good Championship side. And really, if they want to stay up there, they have to be beating teams like Forest and not a great run of form. And I do think they will. So I'm going to say 2-1 to the Royals. Brentford host Blackburn in a game that I'm really looking forward to, actually. Blackburn on a great run of form, as are Brentford. Both have won the last 3. Both unbeaten in 5. So this should be a good game. I do think Brentford will have the slight advantage. Ivan Toney v Adam Armstrong is going to be a great battle. I just think Brentford just have that little bit extra, and home advantage will help. So I'm going to say 2-0 to Brentford, but the scoreline may flatter them. Bristol City host Birmingham at Ashton Gate. Bristol City, great win away at QPR coming from behind. Birmingham, really disappointing collapse against Barnsley. Sort of game they have to be winning. And I think they'll just be really flat coming into this, and I do think it will be a comfortable win for Bristol City here. I do think they've got far too much for Birmingham if they keep on playing like they are. So I think it will be a comfortable 2-0. Rotherham host Coventry host Rotherham in what will be a tense battle between two newly promoted teams. Coventry 19th, Rotherham 20th, only 3 and 4 points clear of the relegation zone. So no team will want to lose here. I think it will be a tight game, and I think it probably will be a draw. Put it this way, I can't see it being a classic, but I think both teams will just want a point just to take them a further point clear of relegation worries, and I think that's exactly what will happen. Huddersfield host QPR at the John Smith Stadium. Huddersfield, really disappointing defeat against Cardiff in midweek. QPR, disappointing collapse against Bristol City. And I think these two teams are just so evenly matched, pretty much in a similar sort of place in the table. Huddersfield 16th, QPR 17th. Can't see it being a total classic, to be honest. So I think it will be a boring old 0-0 draw. Millwall take on Derby at the Den on Saturday, and to be honest, this is a really hard game for Derby. They do have a couple of injuries, Millwall: Mason Bennett, Conor Mahoney, Kenneth Zahur among others, possibly even Jake Cooper. That'd be a massive miss, but still just haven't really clicked under Wayne Rooney yet, and I can't see them doing so here. I think Millwall may just have that little bit extra, so I don't think it will be by a lot, but I can see Millwall getting a first win in a few games now, I think, to be honest. Yeah, so I think it's going to be 1-0 to them. Take on Sheffield Wednesday at Carrow Road. Norwich really need to get a result here. Not been great a couple of games, obviously due to injury, but still, I think they do need to get a result. Against the Tony Pulis side, we saw how difficult Reading found it to break them down yesterday, and that's with 10 men. So with 11 men, it could be really hard, especially with key players like Timu Pukki out. So it'll be an interesting one. I do think Norwich will get the win, but I don't think it'll be easy as some people are suggesting. Preston take on Wickham at Deepdale, and I think Preston will have a bit too much quality. They'll be really on a high following that incredible win at Bournemouth. Wickham a bit on a low after losing the last game. So I do think Preston are the favourites, and I do think if they get a comfortable win, could really start getting some confidence back and building them up the table, and I do think that's exactly what they'll do. I think it will be Preston 3, Middlesbrough 0. Stoke take on Middlesbrough at the Bet365 Stadium. Don't think there's a lot between these two sides. I think Middlesbrough will come here and just play out a draw, and I didn't think Stoke will find a way through. I think it will be a 0-0 poor draw, if I'm being honest, and I don't think either side will be too disappointed with that.
Watford take on Cardiff in the final game this week. This is an interesting one. Cardiff have been outstanding in the last week. A 4-0 win over Luton, a 3-0 win over Huddersfield. Watford not a great point at Forest, but I still think on paper Watford do have the stronger of the two sides. So I do think they will get the win and break Cardiff's mini little streak. But it should be a really, really entertaining game. I'm going to say 2-0 to Watford, but I have to say I do think that scoreline will flatter them a little. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Remember to follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily football news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.